Hey guys, so I am back with another canning video. This one is salsa. I'm very excited. I love having salsa on the shelf. So I'm doing a new recipe. And this is my uncle's tomato pineapple salsa recipe. And it has onion and green pepper and tomato in it and also pineapple in it. But you don't taste the pineapple, it just adds to the combination of flavors. So super excited. I have a big bowl of tomatoes here. I'm going to start with getting these cleaned up. I've washed them really well. I'm going to cut the stems off and get them halved, and then I'm going to deseed them. I'm not going to take the skins off, but this will be my first step to get my tomatoes worked up. So I am going to get out a sharp knife. I'll try this one and get going. So I have my trash bowl here. I'll set that here. And my bowl of tomatoes, and I have more tomatoes in the sink in case I need more. So let's get started de-stemming and chopping. I'm going to keep this one. All right, now what I'm going to do is take these tomatoes and seed them. Who's that? Pup the cat. Take these and deseed them. Now some of them are a different variety where they have more seeds, and some are more sauce tomatoes that don't have many seeds and don't have much membrane inside. So some of these I might not get a lot of seed out. Now you can seed them and peel them or not. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and seed them, but I'm not going to be too extra particular about it because I don't mind a few seeds. Some people do. So if you don't want any seeds, you need to make sure and de-seed them well. And also if you don't want any skins, you can follow directions on how to take the skins off of your tomatoes. It's much like peaches. So this is how you deseed. Squeeze. And that's it. Actually, I wanted to do it in this bowl. And then put those there. So, squeeze. Alright, so now I have my bowl of seeds and stems and whatnot that I just spilt everywhere. Dang it. Alright, so now the plan is to take these seeded, halved tomatoes and chop them to my desired consistency. You can do a large chop or a smaller chop depending on how you like it, how you like your salsa. If you like it more fine, sort of restaurant style, chop it a little finer. If you like it more chunky, leave it a little chunkier. And then I'm going back into this bowl with the chopped tomatoes. You could use a food processor too. I may wish that I had by the end of this, but I've been using the food processor a lot, so just do a quick chop here by hand and see how it goes. All right, guess what? Food processor time. I've already poked myself a couple times and I don't feel like having a sore finger for the rest of the week. So, my food processor right here. I'm just gonna finish the rest of these up. Let me get my mess cleaned up and I'll bring you back for the next step and let the kitty outside. Do you need to go outside? Huh? You want to go outside? Kitty kitty. Alright, so can you actually believe that I estimated the amount of tomatoes exactly perfect, because you need 10 cups of tomatoes for this recipe. So let me run off the recipe for you. It is 10 cups of tomatoes chopped, 4 cups of crushed pineapple, which is actually 2 cans of 20 ounces of crushed pineapple. So 2 cups per can. So you need 4 cups of crushed pineapple. And I'm just going to start adding this to my bowl here. Four small jalapenos chopped. I de-seeded and deveined mine, and I actually used 3, so you can add more or add fewer depending on how hot you like your salsa. Then I have 1 cup of green pepper chopped. Two cups of chopped onion. I just used sweet Vidalia onion. Then 12 ounces of tomato paste, which is the large can. All right. Then, let's see, a 1/4 cup of 5% vinegar. I'm just using regular white vinegar. Then 1½ tablespoons of salt and 1½ teaspoons of cumin. And last but not least, 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, my bowl is extremely full. That's okay, because what we're going to do is take it over to the stove and get it into a big pot, mix it all together, and bring it up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, then I'm going to let it simmer for 5 minutes, and then we're going to start filling our jars. Alright, so the salsa is over here on the stove. It came up to a boil and it simmered for 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take a jar out of my water bath canner, which is actually my pressure canner pot that I am using as my boiling water bath canner today, because you can use it that way as long as you have something to put on the bottom so that the jars don't sit directly on the bottom in the heat, and just don't put your gauges on the lid, and use it as a big stock pot, which is essentially what a water bath canner is. So, hot jars, got my ladle here, we're going to ladle in the hot salsa up to a 1/2 inch headspace. Looks so good. And then I'm going to debubble just in case. Because it's liquid, so there doesn't tend to be a lot of air bubbles that get trapped. Then I'm going to wipe off my rim here with a wet paper towel to make sure that there is no residue that would cause an issue with sealing up the lid. Add the lid in the ring. Fingertip tight, and then I put it into the canner, and I'll grab another jar. I don't believe I mentioned this before, but this recipe makes 8 pints of salsa. So 8-pint jars of salsa will be a good start for this canning season. Air bubbles out. You know what? I think I want to take a little bit off of that, which is okay if you overfill your jar. Just grab a spoon and take a little bit off the top. There, perfect. Now I'll use my wet paper towel again, clean the rim off, add the lid. In the ring, we will tighten the ring to the fingertip tight point, not too tight, and put it into our canner. Now, if you have hard water, go ahead and add a little vinegar to your water, and that will reduce the potential for the hard water spots on your jars, which drive me nuts. All right, so I'm going to keep filling these jars, and then I'm going to make sure that the water in the water bath canner covers these jars by 2 inches at least. And then I'm going to bring that water back up to a rolling boil. And as soon as it's at a rolling boil, I'm going to time it for 15 minutes, which is the process time. Once 15 minutes is up, I'm going to turn the heat off of the stove, and I'm going to let my water bath canner just sit there with everything in it for 10 minutes and let it cool down, in which I will take off the lid and pull the jars out and bring you back. All right, they're done. So it actually made 10 pints. So the recipe will make anywhere between 8 and 10 pints, you know, depending on your accuracy of measurement. But I decided I'm renaming this salsa recipe to Sweet Heat Salsa because it definitely has a sweet base, but with those jalapeno peppers, they really add some heat to the sweet. So I could see myself using this for other recipes besides just chips and salsa. I'm thinking like crock pot chicken, definitely. Sorry, Foxy is always willing to help in the kitchen. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Again, I got it from my uncle. It is a sweet tomato salsa recipe, and it is delish. I actually left one jar out, so I put 9 of them into the water bath canner, kept one out to eat now. And again, you don't have to can this. You can make a half batch and keep it in your refrigerator and share it with your neighbor. So this doesn't necessarily have to be canned. But please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy these types of videos. Leave me a comment below with your favorite salsa recipe because I am looking for more. So let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.